moment. So welcome to the Private 25 review. This is the introduction moment together. So this is the very first start of the review of your individual study of this, and so we will meet almost weekly on the Tuesday, and just to stay inspired, and of course with all that we read and all that we love to share. And so this is really what this is for. And every time we come together, we first start with a meditation, and this will be like a 20-minute meditation. Then we have some time to take a look at what is going on, of what we discovered. And today I will tell some more about how this could work for you, and not telling you what to do at all, but that you can see what is possible. Come on in, everyone. I'm happy to see you all here. It's great to continue with something. It's actually brand new. We did not do it this way, and that is having the opportunity of all the materials that are available, starting our individual study and taking time to take a really good look at what is Joel saying in the talk that is resonating with me. And that already speaks of your personal choice of what you want to start with, which talk you want to start with. And since there are like a choice of 25, I think 25 talks that Joel gave in the Private 25 setting. And now later on I'll share some more about this. I'm really happy to be still for a moment with you. I prepared a very specific part from one of the talks, and I'd love to stand still with that right away.
The natural man receiveth not the things of God. The natural man is not under the law of God. And so it is that the natural man, the young student, their words and thoughts are powerless. They have no power to nullify the appearance. They have no power to bring the grace of God into expression. They are still the natural man, who is not under the law of God, neither indeed can be. It is only when you have developed the fourth dimensional consciousness that error is nullified. You don't even have to voice anything. You could look at error rolling down and smile at it, and it would fade and fall away, if you have attained the consciousness. You would not have to fight and bring yourself to a point of realization. If you're in the fourth dimensional consciousness, you could say, what did hinder you? Pick up your bed and walk. You cannot say that from the third dimensional consciousness, and that is why all of these young practitioners who are not achieving the healings and wonder why, since they know the same truth that everybody else knows. The reason is, it isn't that knowing the truth that does it. It's attaining the fourth dimensional consciousness of truth.
Right. Thank you so much. So great to meet you here in the Private 25 review. Great that you joined. So the idea was born at a certain point. So to do it this way, and so Brenda was part of that. She said, well, it would be nice to study and then meet every week or so, and maybe we can, yeah, do that. And I had like, yeah, that's a great idea. Let's open that up and see if there's more. Maybe there are more who want to do this. And so here this idea is born to meet, just for the inspiration, for some clarification, for some sharing, for maybe you found something that you read in one of the talks, or something that really spoke to you that you love to share with each other. So that's really what this is for then, this moment together. And today's is the introduction to this Private 25 review. And so what can you expect? Well, we're going to introduce ourselves to one another, since we're like starting as a fresh and new group. And even though we might look kind of familiar to one another, you just never know. And so the other part is then, how do you do this? How can you do this? Is there a certain curriculum, was one of the questions. Like, is there a certain curriculum? Well, there is, but it is not set by me or by you in that sense. So here you can really trust what resonates with you. You have a choice of 25 talks, and there must be one that is really speaking to you only by the title, or something that you feel like, yes, this is where I'm going to start. So it's not that we move through and say talk after talk like we do in the tape groups, but here it's like really like an individual study. So this is why I want to spend some time with. This talk is really already speaking to me, and I'm going to dive into it and see what happens. So that's what I would encourage you to do, since that can be so much fun, because it is so individual. Awakening is so individual, and so you have specific themes that are specific to you at this time, in this moment in time, and why not let Joel instruct you, or receive inspiration by listening, by being with it, by contemplating ideas that are being shared. And that's a new practice. This is a new way to do this, and but a lovely way to do this. And now I know that some of you were also part of the Private 25 tape group that was there like a year ago. I think I really don't remember it. I remember we did it, but that's about it. And these talks, the Private 25 talks, have been, say, set up or, say, transcribed in 2018 by Zane and others. And we were working through this in a pretty intense way. But that's why I really love to bring this back in, because everything is in there. In fact, this is the only thing you need in order to continue. You could say, like, this entails the whole setup for your awakening into the fourth dimensional consciousness. And these are ideas, these are concepts, if you hear them like this. But we're talking actually about your experience of the truth of who you are. Now that's a concept too. So to stay out of the concepts, that's why we love to meditate. We start meditating and becoming still and sinking down into our stillness and breathing, in fact, the light in. And being there for a moment, being in a still place inside yourself, at least that's the opportunity you have. So that will be coming back every meeting that we have. And so what else can I say about this? Well, it's of course okay to share something, but we cannot share all in one meeting, because so I want to keep this really like inspired, fresh. It's like maybe 3 or 4 per meeting can do, and like a sharing or having a question or something like this, so that it's like it doesn't really matter who's asking the question. So what is going to happen then is that we will spend a moment together looking at it, or if there's a question, or you share something and you have time to actually stand still with it and see what happens. So you could see it like this. It's like there's an opportunity to share, like, which is, you could say, demonstrate or teach, or sharing your discovery of what happened with you reading this. And that could be one of the things that you do. Or it can be that you read and it's like, I really don't know what this is, but I'm fascinated by it. I would love to, say, discover what it means, what it says. Or you can have questions like, am I reading this right? Like, is this really what Joel means? Or like, for instance, in the meditation that we just did, you see, that's not so easy to hear right away. What is he talking about with young practitioners? What is he talking about? Fourth dimension? What is it? All this. It's like all that. If you take a look at it and try to find yourself in what is being shared, that can be, say, for you, the opportunity to connect with what is actually shared. So we come back to that all the time too, because this has everything to do with you. And you know that, of course, otherwise you would not be here. Now the 25, private 25 group that Joel selected in a certain sense, but changed over time, and was sometimes a lot of people, maybe 60 or 70. Then it was for the dedicated students, you could say, or practitioners, teachers of the Infinite Way that were with him for 5 to 10 years already. Now, I know from every individual here, like all the ones that are here, you dedicate yourself to awakening. You dedicate yourself to studying, to meditation. You're just present in the meetings that we have. You're there. So then you could say, like, the comparison with the group of Private 25 is legitimate. Is yes, you're part of it. You see yourself as being a total part of it. You don't have to have any doubts about that. And so the great thing is that you don't rest on the things, like on the things that you know, or you don't rest on the things that you have developed, or how many books you have read, or how great you can speak about it, or anything like this. Now, this is about a whole different thing, and that is your recognition of the truth in you, and your honesty to find yourself in this process and share exactly where you are. In fact, allow yourself to be exactly where you are. Like, this is not about perfect spiritual behavior, or asking the best questions, or reading most of the transcripts as fast as possible. Like, all these human ways of competition or comparison are not absolutely not happening here. So that means that, in fact, it is an opportunity to share with each other the love that you are, and that you recognize your brother to be. And that will make this great. That will make it for you a moment of communication when we come together. And that is where healing takes place. So that's where we recognize each other as one with one another. That, I love to bring that in all the time too, because that's really what moves you and what shows you the perfection of you. And we need each other for that, in a sense, that we use each other for that, to stay on track in this purpose, in this one purpose of awakening to the truth of who we are. But it's like we walk this path together. And that's a dynamic we. It's a dynamic way of doing this. It is not set in stone with whom or what at what time or anything like this. No, it is, say, directed for us. The curriculum is set for you. The experiences that you are going to have are perfectly at the right time for you. The doubts that you have, the moments of despondency, the absolute breakthrough of happiness at a certain point, all of this is like so well timed, you could say. It's just perfect. So we don't, you can trust completely the process that is going on. And also where you find yourself is just right. And you didn't need to be in another place in order to share something, or in order to share your discovery, for instance. So that makes it really low profile, or like there's no threshold. You can be as you are, like just be yourself, like this. I don't know how else to say it. All right, so we meet, like I said, almost every week. Next week there will be no meeting, but then we start on a weekly, rhythm. I'll let you know what happens. So the sharings are non-public. I'm still recording them. You can still view them later, but you will find them, say, unlisted on YouTube, so nobody else can get to it unless you have the link to it. So that is also for you, then that can be of great support in your studies. So like what was said the other day, like, let me check it out for just a moment. Or, who knows? So thank you so much for listening to this and being part of this and starting this journey, this brand new journey today with us, with me. I totally love that. So now the next part that we're going to do here in class, which is non-public, is introducing ourselves a little bit, since we deal with each other in this group, in this